Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a little experiment and it's actually something that you guys suggested because I've talked about my smile lines multiple times in my makeup tutorials about how my smile lines always crease and nothing helps it. There's no foundation that helps it. There's no primer that helps it. And so you guys have been suggesting to me that I should use eyeshadow primer to see if it helps. So I'm gonna be testing that today. I've seen a couple different YouTubers try that before and they say that it really helps. My smile lines are extremely deep and I'm just curious to see if it's actually gonna work. So I will be doing check-ins throughout the day after a couple hours each time to see if it gets worse or if it stays the same throughout the day. But I am gonna be using two different types of primers on each side. So on one side, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Shadow Insurance, which is actually my favorite eyeshadow primer ever. And it's more of like a liquidy primer. And then I'm going to be using the Skull Sugar Eye Primer, which is another one of my favorites. And it's more of like a cream. It kind of resembles the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre, I think it's called. And so I'm going to try those two out and see which one works better. But first, I'm going to be priming my whole face with the Becca backlight priming filter. I love Becca's primers because they're very illuminating and moisturizing, and it really helps with my dry skin. And now for my smile lines on my left side, I'm going to be using that Too Faced Shadow Insurance, which is the more liquidy one. And I'm just going to put it directly where my creasing happens. And now for my right side, I'm going to be using that Skull Sugar Primer, which is also works as a concealer as well, which is why I really like it. I usually use it on my brides for when I do weddings. So I think I am going to set this with just a tiny bit of powder because I feel like eye primers don't really work to their full effect without being set just a little bit. So I'm taking the Cover FX Loose Perfect Translucent Setting Powder and I'm just taking the tiniest amount that's just like left over in the lid area and just setting that directly on top of the crease area. So now I'm just going to put on a foundation that I trust and I know that does one of the better jobs with my creasing and just staying on all day, and that is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea, and I'm in the shade Fair Beige right now. And I'm just going to be using a damp beauty blender, which is my favorite way to apply this foundation. Okay, so all my foundation is applied and I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup off camera, and then I will go ahead and do some check-ins for you guys and see how this is going. I will also be baking my smile lines as well. I always bake them. I feel that it does help quite a bit. So just to let you know, I'm going to be doing that as well. So I went ahead and finished my makeup, and yes, I did film a tutorial on it, and that video will be up on Friday for those of you wondering how to get this look. It is with a very affordable eyeshadow and a very good quality eyeshadow as well. Eyeshadow palette, not just one eyeshadow. But so far, the smile line on my left side, the one that I used the Too Faced Shadow Insurance on, has not creased yet, but it does look a little bit extra cakey. So maybe that's the powder that I put on top of it before the foundation. Maybe it's just the extra product that was being used. I'm not really sure. But the creasing has not started yet, and usually this side creases way faster than this side. But it is already creasing on this side where I use the cream primer. So maybe just using like a liquidy eyeshadow primer is better than a cream. So it turns out we're only gonna do one check-in. Sorry. I got really distracted throughout the day. I went grocery shopping and just did a bunch of cleaning and laundry and stuff. But it is 7 o'clock right now, so it's been 7 hours since I've done my makeup, and it's actually these are very interesting results. So on my right side, it actually is creasing more than it usually does. I just don't think that this cream primer did anything for it. It probably made it worse because it was just added product to the area. So yeah, that didn't work out very well. But right here, it is like barely creased at all. And again, this is the side that I use the Too Faced Shadow Insurance, the liquidy one. And it's like, it is creased a little tiny bit, but not as much as it usually does crease. It looks a little bit dry in the area, but it did a really good job preventing the creases. So this was super interesting to test out. I didn't actually think this would work, but maybe I will keep using the Too Faced Shadow Insurance or try something else if you guys have another suggestion. I know that the Urban Decay Primer Potion works really well on my eyes, so I might use that next time. But I am very pleasantly surprised with this. Not pleasantly surprised with this side, but it did turn out pretty good. So maybe this is just a really good trick for people who have any creases anywhere where their foundation normally separates. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, if you want to see this makeup tutorial, it's been like 7 hours, so it doesn't look that good right now. But if you want to see this makeup tutorial of the makeup that I wore today, that will be up on Friday. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye, guys.
'Cause baby, I'm not crying of you. There's just shit that I've gotta do, so I'm not crying.